Well, hi there and welcome to Rauta's tape explosion in D5. Previously I did already a video similar to this featuring 5 different tape releases in D5. So this time I'm totally focusing on 5 Heathen Tribes labels tape releases, which are from past years, mostly around 2015 or 16. So let's start going because we have things to do. First we have here Forsaken Peddlers, Songs of Fate and Freedom, a French doom slash heavy metal band. So Heathen Tribes is specialized in kind of a re-releasing stuff on tape format, and well, Forsaken Peddlers is exactly about that, being very simple in design and well, kind of complementing with the music. When I say doom slash heavy metal, I mean it the way that people might actually get to the kind of early 1980s vibe. Forsaken Peddlers is doing exactly that, kind of taking points from heavy metal and, you know, doing also kind of a doom metal stuff. There, you know, slow pace and, you know, just, you know, kind of a blurring the line with doom metal and heavy metal in general. Now, this is something that kind of strikes me as a very mediocre release. This might be actually a demo recording when it comes to the quality of music. Nothing bad as such, but not exactly very captivating, not very unique, original, or just, you know, plain good songwriting. Everything is basically, like theoretically speaking, everything is just in place, and the vocalist is actually quite nice and skilled, but the overall feeling from, you know, songwriting to production leaves me kind of like puzzled, like, why is this not a demo but a full length? Well, can't be just all good, I guess, but Forsaken Peddlers is only for the fanatics of the genre, not so much for people who are like looking really good, high quality doom and heavy metal. Next we have some weird looking release, considering that pink is not exactly the color of metal music, at least usually. This is Vonülfsrëich from Finland with their EP or release called Spell of Thunder. Not only the tape itself is pink, but also the covers of this very release. Now, I've previously gone through this on different medias for different reviews, so didn't spend too much time kind of like re-listening to this release. This is more about kind of a old schoolist black metal with mid-tempo and all that stuff. Basically, this was, when I got it first in my hands, it was a kind of demo recording, and this band has been more or less kind of a mediocre in the past, but Spell of Thunder actually shows a little bit of this band's claws. So in essence, that is kind of a now creeping out of its shell and, you know, actually showing some talent with its kind of a mid-tempo black metal. Certainly some ideas might need more polishing and maybe training and, you know, kind of a production, I guess, from a different producer, somebody that who might be, you know, just, you know, telling like, okay, just leave those parts away and focus on the good stuff. Because now this release actually has some really nice ideas and some good stuff, like I said, but there are also some weak moments, which in my opinion means that this is more of a good demo recording than actual material for, say, CD or whatnot. I think they might be just proper format for this kind of stuff, especially this weird pink is just so perverse that it's kind of a, you know, deserves its release on that. Next one we have released from United States of America. This is called Seltar, and curiously enough, this band is all focused on Iberian things. Well, at least when it comes to the info I got from this band. There's some Iberian language, there's some ancient Iberian heritage, like it says here. And this is actually, this is actually a release that contains not only one but two. As you can see, this is Teike and Declaración, which is basically an EP and a full length, basically. on, you know, in one release, totaling about 45 minutes of one-man black metal. Now this is kind of a very typical bedroom black metal project. One man creating music where production kind of sucks. I mean, there's drum machine or computer programmed drums or whatever, which are really weak and very uninspirational. I mean, there are no cool, you know, drum things. It's just, you know, basically fast tempo playing, which is just, you know, in order to create sort of a percussion for the music. And also sound wise, this is very much something that doesn't actually, you know, stand out from the crowd. It's kind of like weak and powerless. But the good side of this release is that Seltar is actually really talented with the melodic riffs they have here. Some of these kind of atmospheric black metal or green metal, when it comes to the more nature infused view of this extreme metal, some of these melodies are really nice and captivating. Some of them are just like plain melancholy put into that format of music. And I must say, I really like some of the parts. There are some songs and some parts which are not that great, but not bad either. I mean, this is something that really has a lot of potential to become, you know, really good band. But given the fact that the vocals are something like very meaningless, I mean, they're just somewhere in the background doing with some, you know, reverb and whatnot, and the production of, you know, beat guitars or the drum machine or whatever, it's all kind of like weak. So this is like good ideas music wise, the compositions, the songs, they're all good, but the output is something that kind of makes this a little bit weaker than what it would be if this was like more professionally recorded. So curiously enough, this was originally released digital only and on some CDR format. So basically this tape format is the best you can get right now from Seltar. So if atmospheric black metal is your cup of tea and you don't mind a little bit weak production, definitely check out this one. There are at least some samples online, I think. So go and do whatever you need to do with that kind of stuff. The fourth one on this Indie 5 comes from Canada. This one is called Blight, which is a great name for any kind of extreme metal band. And kind of weird, there's only one with this name. So we'll continue with more tapes, as this is Tape Explosion anyway. And this one is also a tape release which has two different releases in one tape, or on one tape. This is kind of a peculiar release in the sense that the earlier material on this one is actually the better one, with the newer material going to the kind of wrong direction. So this one is called The Teachings plus Death Reborn. Now Death Reborn is a 2-song release from this Canadian black metal band, and way more aggressive than the later ones. The actual Death Reborn EP kind of shows a lot of promise of this band, you know, being more violent, in your face, and kind of a straight to the point black metal material, when the teachings actually are more on the atmospheric side, more of a like a own laid back ways. And sadly, the teachings EP, or whatever format it actually originally was, is not that good, to be honest. It's quite a mediocre album, and to me it seems like it's a release from a band that is kind of looking for, you know, a direction where it should go to. Well, Death Reborn is way more kind of a mature. I don't know in which order these were actually recorded or made, so the actual order of the release when it comes to discography might be totally different than the output. But to me it kind of seems that because Death Reborn was, you know, released earlier, it seems like this band is not going to the better direction. So this band has been there quite a few years, but no full-length album yet out so far. So I don't know, I'm a little undecided how Blight will turn out. There's sort of a promise with this band for sure, but still it kind of keeps me thinking that maybe this band should keep on the mini CD or EP or demo recordings until they can actually do some really solid stuff. This is a better part of the mediocre, but still kind of a mediocre. Now, I'm not sure if this is the best of this Indie 5, but at least it's one of the better ones. It is called Valgaldr and Østenfor Sol. Now, this is a tragic story that this band. This was, or still is, well, was a two-man band. Now there's only one member left. Because the main man, the songwriter, vocalist, mixing, mastering and all that stuff guy is unfortunately dead by now. Died in 2016, at least to the according to the information I read about this band. So basically the mastermind of the band is already long gone, which is a sad thing because Valgaldr is actually, or was with this release that originally came in 2015 and released in 2016 by this Heathen Tribes. So you can here basically get all the information. John Embalmberg, who was, well, the main man of the band, here, died, it seems, due to cancer. And there's only one other guy, the drummer bass player in the band anymore. And it kind of makes me a little bit sad because this band, while it's being very traditional, very unoriginal Norsecore, it kind of shows a lot of promise of what this band could have been if it just got a little more time to evolve, to grow up, and to, you know, let John and his bandmate to take this band to the next level. There are lots of good ideas, but also not some good ideas. And this is a full-length album, actually, just on tape format here. About 45 minutes of music. Valgaldr is basically a trip to the golden 90s era. The sound is just, you know, really, really nice. It's almost as Dark Throne-ish when it's the unholy trinity time, and the vocals are really, really good, raspy, black metal shrieky style, and some of the riffs are really, really good. I mean, this so much potential, so much promise to become a really good, solid name, even though this was formed like 2012 or 2011, something in that direction anyhow. And only a few years later, it's gone because of this tragic death. Now, not all deaths are tragic, by the way, but I think when a talented artist, for example, or person of importance dies, it's always a tragedy of sorts. I don't know what kind of person he was, so this is not about kind of false remembrance thing, but kind of pointing out that it's just sad things that people go out young or relatively young when they have a lot of good stuff coming out. So this is definitely something, if only on this Indie 5, which you should definitely check out, especially if you're into Nordic black metal in the 90s vein. So 5 released, covered so far. There are lots of different styles, and this is all from the Heathen Tribes label from Greece. So be interested, go check out the samples, you'll find links below, and hope you like some of them. If you don't blame me if it's your taste for music which doesn't just, you know, agree with me. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and see you soon with more reviews to come. Adios, amigas and amigos.